everyone is on board with the 80-20 train, as in like 80% slow runs and 20 hard. And you can go back to the start of this podcast, and I was just like, that is not for me. Like this is only 3 years ago we're running this podcast. And I remember, like, I was just like, no, this whole going slow to go fasting, I haven't got the patience for it. I'm not doing it. I'd rather strength train, get the run in, get it done quicker. And look, for some people they can do that and they can get all the benefits and stuff from it. For me, it led down the road of injury. And it was funny enough because I remember like years ago you were talking about you listened to the Rich Roll audiobook, and I'm only starting to read it now. So it got to the chapter where he's doing a stupid long swim, 2-day cycle, and then a run. But the run is like a double marathon at the end. And he talks about taking it like 4 miles. So the strategy is go 4 miles run, 1 mile walk, 4 mile run, 1 mile walk. I remember you'd said that to me before. I'm like, this, and I was still the mindset of like walking during a marathon. Nah, you got to run it. Anytime you're going for a run, you got to run it. Like, nah, sometimes you slow down, work on the heart rate and build up from there. And then he talks about how like the second half of the race he starts to pass people out, but at the same time it's not a miracle thing because he starts to struggle at mile 40 because certain amount of miles to the legs is still going to get you. But it's just mad how it's gone from a few people talking about this whole 80-20 to now everyone's like, it's almost gone the opposite way, isn't like, they're like, this is the only way to go all the time, regardless of what type of running you're doing, 80-20.
I'd just like to highlight that in a roundabout way. You're saying I was right 3 years ago, and I appreciate it.
I throw my hand up again. I've matured a lot. Yeah, no, for me, blazer. I got that wrong.
I'm a trailblazer, an absolute trailblazer. But like, you go back to, all right, here's my random one of the day. Let's take a trip back to when we used to be cavemen and women. So the male used to eat a big feed, and then they would run after their prey until the prey ran out of steam, and then they'd kill it very easily. That was one of the methods.
That was a legit thing, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where like the hunter-gatherer would store their energy, and they would run and run and run and run until the animal got so tired it just pretty much fell over, and then they killed it. So how far that is, now you look at the likes of leopards and cheetahs and lions, they don't attack until they're nearly certain they're going to kill it, because they expend everything, bang, and it's all out effort to kill. And after that, they sleep for a couple of days after they eat because they're wrecked. They're very precise in it, and that's why we developed this little bit of endurance, because that was one of the methods of hunting down prey. Was just, okay, I'm going to run after it until that can't run anymore. Just keep it in sight. That was the method. You just keep the animal in sight. So I can't imagine they were expending maximum energy to get to their reward, if that makes sense. They just had to keep it in sight. You just had to keep moving. You just had to keep doing. Fast forward a couple of thousand years, we're talking about an 80-20 rule of how to do
okay.
sport. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So although that's a very simplified Eric version of how we've developed, our bodies have developed, they have changed. We've got stronger, we've got faster, we've had science, we've had this. But like, controlling that heart rate is so vitally important for endurance. It is in itself building fitness without, like, we're after talking about why we do ice baths, because of intensity, inflammation, putting the body under pressure. And you can't do that all the time. You can't run an engine at full tilt all the time, or it's eventually going to seize or give in. So like, a slow run is moving, it's controlling the heart rate, yet we're not firing all the cylinders. We're just progressing towards this better fitness, this better all-around fitness. And the best way to do that, if you want to have a volume of training, is to keep it minimum most of the time, and then go beyond your race pace for the best time. And then that's when you increase your pace. That's when you see the increase in fitness and strength, because you're pushing, you're explosive, you're this, you're that. And then you allow another 4 training sessions to happen where you don't trigger those muscles. You don't trigger that kind of part of the body, but you build that endurance, and the heart rate's like, oh yeah, we're comfortable here. And that's essentially, no matter what plan you buy, 80-20, 60 foot, whatever it is, everyone's trying to tell you to be training but recovering and not exerting too much. until that maximum effort because you want to experience what it's going to be like on the day of the event. And that's essentially what it is. And in fairness, he does talk about it, and he adds in statistics from good coaches, and he name drops a good few people that make you go, this is brilliant. How has no one thought of this?
Yeah.
Look at every marathon plan. Easy run Monday, this on this day, intervals on Wednesday, easy run, tempo run Saturday. So you look at the whole week, it's about 80-20, maybe 70-30, some weeks 60-40. And you do need to change it up. You can't just go, sorry, I'm on this.
No, work away. This one, I mean, you deserve the podium after me admitting you're right after 3 years. I can't said it though in another podcast episode, but yeah, no. So if you go back those early episodes, I am wrong.
you also need weeks where it's 100% maximum effort. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't just say, I'm gonna do 80-20. You know, like an Ironman is maximum effort for 10 hours at a very quick pace. So you're gonna have to go through a week where, right, my cycle's gonna be hard on Monday, my run's gonna be hard on Tuesday, and you're putting in volume at good effort, and you're setting yourself up for a bit of pain. And then after the week, maybe 6 weeks out from an Ironman, you do this.
Yeah, you've built your foundation.
Back into your 80-20, 60-40, 50-50, 70-30. So like everything, like nutrition, it's everything in moderation. And that 80-20 rule is fantastic. And especially when it means getting started on a training plan, because mentally thinking of how hard it's going to be is one of the contributing factors to not doing it. So by knowing it's only an easy run, by knowing it's only stretch and 3 rounds of weights, by knowing it's only this little thing to do, it's easier to just get started. And that's why an 80-20 rule is fantastic. And people are always like, I can't run a marathon. I was like, just start. And in the first 3-4 weeks, it's all 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes. And it's like, geez, that's not bad, actually. Okay, well, this week we're going to 40. Oh, God, 40 minutes. And you do your 40 minutes, like, I actually found it easier than I thought it would. And that's the catalyst. That's all you need. And we've stuck to an 80-20 rule because it was easy. It was attainable. It was measured. Recovery was easy. And then you push. And now we're starting to go, okay, is it 70-30 this week? Could be 50-50. So it's not a hard and set fast rule, but it's great for a start.
Yeah, 100%. It's the same with you're in the gym. Like your very first session shouldn't be, okay, let's go max effort and deadlifts and bench and squat and stuff and completely crush the person, because you're going to feel tired and sore leaving anyway. So if you completely crush that person, they're never coming back. Whereas in a run, they're like, first session, right, 5K, how fast can I do it in? It's like you are just completely crushing yourself. You're more likely to get injured and you're not going to come back. If you're running as hard as you can, no matter whether it's 5K, 100 meters, depends where your fitness levels is. If you feel like you're constantly going to feel like getting sick, you're only human. Like this whole no pain, no gain thing is BS. I hate that phrase, no pain, no gain. It's said all the time. I hate it because it's like you don't have to push yourself to the point of pain each and every session. Yes, there's times where there's intervals like, oh, it's go time, not 20%. But for the most part, it's just gradually building yourself up, building those foundations and getting better, better, and better.